I listened to the whole class again. I did the replay, and it was very intense. It was very, very strong healing. I went really, really deep last night when I did the whole class. I just did the whole class again.
Thanks for being a testimonial to the whale work, because it is deep. You know, it's like we said, that core level work. They love you so much, and they can, with all the different modalities we offer, that is the first session that we always do with people. And I didn't know that was going to happen with this class, not until the day before. And they said, you're not going to go right into dolphin work until they do a whale healing. And I'm like, right, of course. Thanks for reminding me. So basically, you've learned by a little bit now that I just work here. You know, I'm a good listener. I'm a good telepath, and I do follow instructions, or I'm sure they wouldn't work with me, because they want it a certain way, and they know, you know, what's best for you. So, someone had a question?
Yes, sorry, Laurie, it's me, Jasmine, again. So
Hi.
saying that the lady said she's, you know, the last session, obviously, there's very profound healing going on. But is it okay for me? I haven't listened to the replay because I only just joined last night.
Yeah, it's
Is
okay.
it okay for me to do today first,
Yeah.
and then go back to the replay for the first one later?
Yeah, it is. And you'll probably want to go back and listen to this one too, and do it in order. Yeah, it's okay.
All right.
Okay, we have to start. I started the recording. Today is March 4th, 2021. This is week 2 of 4 weeks of Healing with Dolphins. And we are going to open the sacred space. So I'm going to ask everyone to mute your room. Click that little red microphone so we have no background noise. Thank you. Perfect. Today we're going to use a prayer that comes from the shamanic way, indigenous way. And I'm a certified Munich specialist. I studied shamanism when I lived in Hawaii, and it's incredible. Of course, lots of other tribes use this prayer as well. So I want us to start out by grounding ourselves, really going down into the earth, dropping your light like an anchor. And I want you to feel the love and the presence that you have for Gaia, for Mother Earth herself, for being your mother, for birthing you, so to speak, with the elemental kingdom that is a part of our body, part of our life. I want you to connect to what we call the body elemental, which is an individualized diva, basically, that took your architectural plan and built your body. So it's really good to stay connected to them. And breathe that energy now up through the legs, up into the solar plexus, and up into the heart. And we let the heart absorb all of this beautiful divine feminine light from Gaia, and allow it to start rippling into your bloodstream and shifting your vibration. And now let's do the same. Connect upwards to the sun as the portal or gateway for source light to come, God's light. And allow it now to cascade down over your head, coming down the prana tube into the heart space. And as always, our intention is to find the perfect unity balance of both the mother and the father energy. And when you do that, and you're in your heart, meaning you're connected to your I am presence, or that which we call the soul, you have come into triangulation. And that is the goal for every day, all day, is to triangulate. If you can stay connected to the earth, to your mother, and stay connected to source light, which is your father, and stay connected to your soul, you will create sustainable things. You will find great joy, and you will fulfill the reasons why you came here. And not only that, the law of attraction will bring you all of the people that you said you wanted to meet and work with. If you don't triangulate, you're probably living in duality and you're bumping around a bit. Not saying you're not successful, but I'm going to say it's a challenge that way. And it's definitely going to be some heartache, because that means you're in your mind and you're trying to work with what we call polarity or duality. And your mind will talk you into and out of anything in about a minute. You know, it'll talk you into something great and then talk you right out of it. So stay out of your mind, stay out of the analytical process, and move into the heart. It's all about the feeling state, if you want to be a powerful creator and if you want to remember who you are. Okay, now from that place, we achieve 0 point. And now we can turn to the directions and the grid that hopefully you have around your house. So we'll face the south, and I say, to the winds of the south, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to shed the past the way you shed your skin, to walk softly on the earth, Teach us the beauty way. Aho. Turning to the west, to the winds of the west, Mother Jaguar, protect our medicine space. Teach us the way of peace to live impeccably. Show us the way beyond death. Aho. Turning to the north, to the winds of the north, hummingbird, grandmothers and grandfathers, ancient ones, come and warm your hands by our fires. Whisper to us in the wind. We honor you who have come before us, and you who will come after us, our children's children. And the north is open. Aho. Coming to the east, to the winds of the east, great eagle, mighty condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Keep us under your wing and show us the mountains we only dare dream of. Teach us to fly wing to wing with the Great Spirit. And the east is open. Now connecting with the earth herself. Mother Earth, we have gathered for the healing of all your children, the stone people, the plant people, the four-legged, the two-legged, the creepy crawlers, the finned, the furred, and the winged ones, all our relations. And now connecting to the sun and the apex of center above. Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations, Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, and you who are unnameable. Thank you for bringing us together and allowing us to sing the song of life. And last but not least now, go into the heart, center within. Feel the power of your I am presence, of the soul, the eternal part of you that's gone on where there is no beginning and no end. There is just the journey. And feeling into the importance and the power of this part of your journey, of this lifetime. Saying thank you for everyone that supports you. You have a huge team of beings, even if you don't connect to them. They would love to connect to you. Series of angels, ascended masters, ancestors, now the dolphins and whales, the animal beings, all supporting the humans. Because the humans went to sleep. They went into amnesia with great purpose. And now the time has come to awaken, to remember who we are. And when we wake up, Master Buddha's always said, when you wake up, you look around, you remember yourself, you're going to remember who everybody else is too. And we are seeing those that have stood by us, those with the higher vibration that didn't go to sleep, that have that purpose of supporting us. So let's be grateful for them now, thank them. And let's come into the highest possible vibration on this beautiful day. And our sacred space is open. Nice. Okay, so we're going to have some fun. Just open up the vibration a little bit. I'm going to see a video I did a while back on the dolphins.
This is a dolphin message. The dolphins are the ambassadors and the embodiments of joy. They represent the positive feeling and emotional states of happiness, passion, love, joy, family, and purpose. They are ambassadors to humanity, assisting us in finding and living those qualities within ourselves. They ask us to attune our energy and attention to the solstices and the equinoxes. During these 4 very powerful times of the year, energetic portals or pathways of light open to our planet. The dolphins ask each of us to use these gateways to go deep within ourselves, to find the truth that lives within our hearts. They ask us to connect with the divinity within ourselves and truly connect with our souls. They remind us that the soul is the consciousness that we incarnated from, and that which we will ultimately return to. Our physical bodies are just an expression of that part of us that embodies a higher power and consciousness. Our souls want nothing more of us in the physical than for us to be happy and live a joyful and magical life. It is only through creating joyful feelings that we can achieve a higher vibration and can truly connect to and communicate with our higher selves. So the dolphin message is quite simply to become aware of how easy it is to monitor our thought forms and just choose to change them if we find our thoughts anything other than joyful. Simple, but profound. Remember, to think is to create, and we are the creators and the co-creators of the world in which we live. The dolphins would also like to remind us that we as a society are waking up to the fact that the children on our planet are changing. They are unique and very much in touch with their inner truth and purpose. The dolphins can assist us as adults with guiding these new children as they find their way among us. They are here to create peace and unity consciousness. They have many special gifts and will need assistance to utilize them as they journey on their paths. The dolphins tell us that these children are here for a more universal purpose, as opposed to an individualized one. Listen to them and their messages when you encounter them, or perhaps have them in your very own family. They are naturally telepathic like the dolphins, and many of them have miraculous healing abilities. The dolphins ask that we quite simply acknowledge these beautiful souls that have come to Earth to bring love and peace for everyone. Follow your inner guidance when you encounter them and an opportunity presents itself for you to interact with them. It is important that they are encouraged to find their unique gifts and that they connect with their divine life missions.
Nice. It was kind of fun, huh? Okay. So working with dolphins involves multidimensionality. It involves portals and gateways and vortices. Another thing, if you were here, I could show you how the dolphins come into my pool. They'll usually let us see the portal they're opening. If they don't, I have video of it. Sometimes, on a really bright sunny day, we can see it opening up and them coming in. They're the navigators of this, and so are we. It's just that we're not conscious of it. Their gifts are, I wouldn't say more important or they're more loved. I'm just saying they have a lot more experience than we do. So when you bring them into your consciousness and you ask for their help, you need to be prepared to shift because you're not going to be the old person anymore. We're going to start talking today about epigenetics and what that really means and how our science now even has proven that epigenetics is real. And in 2008, the dolphins gave me a channel, which I'll share today, that clearly says that they are the epigeneticists of this planet. They have full ability to accelerate your DNA recalibration. We have 12 strands of DNA. Most people have barely 2 strands working. Some people working on the 3rd or maybe the 4th strand of DNA. We have a lot of work to do before we ascend. And I'm not saying we have to calibrate all 12 to ascend. I'm saying they're there. And they have, been described to us. We've been taught about the DNA, what the different strands mean. I'm constantly in school with them. I'm constantly learning, taking notes and channeling, and I know others are too, about how they can help us. But it's because of their advanced experience and, of course, the way their bodies are created here in the physical, which we'll take a look at. So get ready to change, let go of your fear, and know that you wouldn't have signed up to take this ride if you didn't really want to change. So that's the word. That's the buzzword now is epigenetics. Okay, that means you're not bound to the old way. The old view of DNA said that our genes predetermine and control our physiological and behavioral traits. We were taught that our DNA is genetically predisposed when we are born. we know that this is not true. We are responsible for, hopefully this will clear up here. Hold on. We're responsible for the changes that we make, I think is what it says. When I was growing up and you went to the doctor would give you a form to fill out, which is basically your family's medical history, starting with your parents, your grandparents, even your cousins, aunts, and uncles. And the doctors, the medical systems believed that we were predisposed to probably get sick the same types of things that our ancestors had, including our parents. Like if your dad had heart disease, you're probably have a very high percentage of getting that particular disease because your dad did. And if your mom had diabetes and, Aunt Tilly had, arthritis, we were told that we can be afraid of those things now because we carry them in our DNA. Well, the truth is that we were given a foundational DNA that comes from the parents that we chose, which is our hair color, our eyes, the size of our bodies, our cultural differences, I guess you'd say, our species difference. Some have chosen to be Caucasian, some have chosen to be Chinese, some Mexican, and so forth. All of that, of course, is your decision before you're born, that you choose a particular color of skin and a tribe, I guess you would say, to be born to, with all of the different things that you want to learn. And quite often, especially today with the light workers, we find that we've skipped around a lot. We've been all of the different races. We've played poor man, rich man, and in between. We've played the parts so that we could learn more about Earth and we could bring the path of service to a new place here and understand that no one is loved more than another. And now with people like Bruce Lipton, if you don't know about him, scientifically proving in test tubes that the things that our DNA respond to are environment and our intentions. So DNA is the key to our evolution and ascension. And science is starting to get a grip on that, at least a little bit, where they can start to study that which is outside of the microscope. Okay. Seth says, that's the higher being of my partner. The science of epigenetics has proven that our perceptions of the environment, including our consciousness, actively control our genes. Epigenetics is applied consciousness in motion. I love that. Just remember that line and you'll be right. Epigenetics is applied consciousness in motion. I would write that down. Where nothing is predetermined. And by shaping your own biology, guess what? You become the master of your own life. In other words, it's all about intention. Haven't you ever been around people that say, oh, I just don't feel good, and life is so sad and hard, and oh, it's just getting worse, and look at this and look at that. I feel crappy. Those people, what? Are they always sick or what? Are they creating their own reality? They're setting themselves up to be sicker. They don't ever talk about healing. They don't ever talk about the power of that they have within their body to heal themselves. They don't talk about joy. They just talk about their whiners, basically. Okay, and I'm not putting them down. I'm just trying to let you observe the different types of vibration that people come through with their belief systems. And then you talk to people that they aren't really grounded, and they're really up in the sky all the time, and maybe they're talking to the extraterrestrials. That's fine. There are many benevolent ones that love to talk to you, but they're not really accomplishing anything. They're not really grounded. They're not really using their physicality and their consciousness to step up and achieve some type of mission or purpose in their life. And so they're not really happy either. They're just confused most of the time. So just take a look at the people around you in a good way, not to judge them, but to observe what you do want and what you don't want. Sort of like going to the buffet, what am I going to eat tonight? And choosing what makes you the happiest, where your vibration is just flying and where you start to put a lot more power into seeing your intentions manifest. Okay? So the Earth and the biosphere represent a single living, breathing entity. That's Gaia. That's her name. She's a goddess and she's alive. She's real, a living, breathing being. Our careless disregard for nature, for Gaia, and for our insistence that we are here to dominate and control this planet has led us to injure and damage the very environment that gives us life. Gaian physiology courses are suggested and designed to reacquaint us with our connection to the planet and to our ancient role as caretakers of the garden we call Gaia. So this is by James Lovelock. He has a book out. It's a really good book. Basically, every single one of us, if we turned our attention back to the earth and said, I'm sorry for damaging you. I'm sorry for polluting you. I'm sorry for not even remembering that you're alive. I'm sorry for not remembering you're my mother. And I want to correct that. I want to start to work with you. I want to heal my body. I want to heal the damage that's in my emotional body, where I really believe somebody hurt me. I didn't understand that I was creating that. So I want to atone for that. And I want to come back to being a conscious creator again, like the dolphins. Okay? Understanding the various layers of what we call space, the multidimensional fifth dimension where the Pleiadians are from, our brothers and sisters that help us every day. The fourth dimension being a complete illusion, not real at all, and very negative, because our thoughts and feelings that we have go up into the fourth dimension and create an illusionary reality. So we start to want to avoid that, because most of people's thoughts and feelings that they don't take responsibility for are negative. So here's where you're going to find ghosts and entities that are dark, demons. You're going to find Santa Claus too there, and the Easter Bunny, and everything that the human race has thought up is there, because that's the beauty of our creatorship. One day that will be a very beautiful place to visit, because we'll take responsibility for what we think. Okay. Then of course the third dimension comes, and that's where the dolphins are interfacing with us in the physical and in the etheric. They've come to the third dimension to assist us as emissaries of joy, to help wake us up, help teach us, and most importantly, help heal us, restoring us to our true selves. Okay, so we're going to look at a little video. This is the actual words that were given to me. Sometimes I get what I call a signature channel, and it's perfect. It comes in absolutely perfect. The download is complete. I don't have to change a word or edit it. It's truly from their higher consciousness. And they're starting to talk, and this happened, again, I told you in 2008, and they started to talk about, hold on here. Oops. They started to use the word epigenetics, is what I'm trying to say. Here we have to close that down to share. All right. Enjoy. We also made it into our film, so maybe you've seen it. It's a really good channel.
Dolphins and DNA. The dolphins have shared with me that they are the designated keepers of the human DNA template system. They receive infusions of DNA activation through the Earth's ocean systems from Creator. It is their given task to process this information internally and calibrate the actual DNA that is perfect and right for each person. The dolphins also hold the energy of love and joy for the actual locations on the planet that are experiencing war and chaos. The dolphins work to create frequencies that are infused into these areas on the planet with templates of peace, harmony, and healing. The dolphin matrix supports DNA re-encodements for people and places throughout the energy code systems they use. The dolphin family of light has created a template for the human DNA and uses it to monitor the overall template for the pure holographic possibility equation for humanity and Earth. If you choose to connect with the planetary dolphin family, you can receive these attunements directly from the dolphin group consciousness. The dolphins are the masters of DNA recalibration and are able to shift old energies very quickly with their healing frequencies. Also, they work in a frequency of joy and playfulness that is perfectly suited to the energy of ascension and the new Earth. Beloved humans, please listen to your hearts as the energies accelerate during 2012 and beyond. Call upon the dolphin energies as they are the chosen emissaries of light. Their communications will be of valuable assistance in helping you to align with the crystalline grid system, your personal DNA upgrades, and the Dolphin Matrix systems that are assisting in creating the center for the new Earth. Also know that the Dolphin Matrix of Energy is assisting with the cleansing and balancing of the Earth's oceans. Currently, many scientific experts are saying that DNA plays a powerful role in newly discovered communications between dolphins and humans. One ongoing study at the Sirius Institute in Hawaii has revealed that dolphins and whales receive and transmit sound signals capable of affecting the genetic double helix. Using natural biotechnology, dolphins can actually heal humans swimming near them sonogenetically. 14 years of multidisciplinary study at the Sirius Institute has indicated that the expression of DNA, traditionally considered the blueprint of life, can be changed by the sound and electromagnetic fields generated by dolphins. New research shows that our DNA is activated by waves and particles of energized sound and light that literally switch genes on or off. Likewise, genetic inheritance is energetically transmitted bioacoustically and electromagnetically through special water molecules that form the electrogenetic matrix of DNA. These hydroelectric structures are shaped like pyramids, hexagons, and pentagons, and they direct the healing processes. This amazing phenomenon explains how remarkable healings have been reported by people in our boats near the dolphins and by swimmers following dolphin contact. The cetaceans have had complex language for millions of years, and they have the largest brains on the planet. Visitations by dolphins and whales have demonstrated a history of friendship and cooperation, and even partnership with humans. The dolphins and whales have shown us that they are the ancient and wise, super-sentient beings on this planet. They are living examples for we humans, showing us how to live in peace and in harmony with our planet. We encourage you to connect with the dolphins and the whales each and every day, energetically, telepathically, and in the physical oceans whenever you can. The dolphins and whales are the living, ultimate expression of how we humans can begin to live in our hearts within the pod mind, which is demonstrated by living for the good of the many, not the one.
Most of what you just saw are the Hawaiian spinner dolphins. They're so much fun to swim with, so incredible. And they love to play the leaf game. They like to bring you a leaf and have you chase them and try to get the leaf off their fins. And they like it when you bring leaves. You know, it's one of the ways they interact with us. Pretty fun. Okay, let's get back to the PowerPoint. Nothing quite like swimming with them. So much fun. Okay. So dolphin activations that, like we're going to do today, empower you. And they are focused on your DNA. The dolphins know how. Like today, for example, we're going to work with layer 1 out of 12 layers. And that particular focus will be on your physical body. Now, that doesn't mean other things can't happen. It just means that's the main focus. And that will be like layered on top of the work that we did last week, where your cells were prepared and cleaned with the violet flame. so the dolphins can bring in rainbow light. And again, for some people who ask, it doesn't mean you can't do this session today. It just means at some point you're probably going to want to go back and work with the whales to clean with the violet flame. Okay, so the dolphins have said we are the ultimate epigeneticists on Earth. We are highly evolved whole brain beings, where we could say the human race, where our brain is, it's divided into two halves. It's not complementary yet to each other. Most of the time, our brain is at war, one half with the other, where they don't even agree. So dolphins offer us a transformational experience with a big vibrational boost. And they do this because they can. They do it because they have energy and light to share, that they have been given, permission, of course, first by you and by Creator, to come and do these changes on your body. They can work with you in the physical and in the etheric. They work with your energy fields, recalibrating and harmonizing your overall spiritual alignment, which of course is coming through the DNA. John Lilly was one of the pioneers that did this work. He was very known in the time of the 60s. He lived in Maui. He also later moved to Bermuda. This is one of my favorite quotes from his book. He said, "The largest brains on the ocean, the largest brains on the planet are in the ocean. Communication with the whales and dolphins is the greatest achievement the human race can aspire to." That's a big statement, but I really do believe it's true. And I, in a sense, follow in his footsteps. And have since, when I first connected with dolphins was probably about 1999 while I lived in Baja. And the dolphins came right up to my house, and they came every day. And I didn't know how to call them. I didn't know how to talk to them, but I welcomed their presence. I knew they were, helping me. And I also knew they were talking to my cat, Puda. And I knew everybody was sort of there to get me on board, moving into more advanced animal communication. So maybe that's happened for you too. Maybe you've had them contact you either in your dream state, in the etheric, or maybe in the ocean, or maybe you've seen them at Marineland or SeaWorld, one of the places where dolphins are still, I guess you'd say, in a captive place. What you should know is I know that those days will come to an end, probably relatively soon, because we don't really need that anymore. But the dolphins and the whales that are there have volunteered for those positions, okay? They've agreed to be an ambassador for humanity to teach us. And my first activation was at SeaWorld. It was with Corky, who was one of the orca whales. And we don't have time for me to tell you all my stories, but other people I work with too, like Joan Ocean, she's also a pioneer. She was activated by Corky in San Diego at SeaWorld. So we really should give thanks to those dolphins and whales that have agreed to be captive, I guess you would say, ambassadors. And they'll be there as long as they want to be. All they have to do is hold their breath, and they can commit suicide as easy as the next one. And they don't think of it in the suicide in the way we do. They just think of it as moving on. So anyway, getting back to John Lilly. John Lilly was also a medical doctor, and he was wanting to know if the dolphins would learn English and if we could learn the dolphin language. So he created an apartment, a water apartment actually in Bermuda, which you can read about. It's out there. It was mainly underground because of what the military would have done with the dolphins that he had. And he had 3 dolphins, and he was able to communicate with them enough to where they said, "We'll give you 7 years, and we're going to teach you many things while we live together in this apartment." And they operated the elevator that went up and down so they could breathe, and of course the human person living, I can't remember the name of his assistant, but she was a female. And she became very close to these 3 dolphins, and she learned a lot of what their sounds mean, but she couldn't make the sounds back. I mean, our bodies really aren't capable of making those sounds. So they really made an effort to learn English and to talk to her. And then there's my other friend, you may know of her, Roberta Goodman. She's lived in the Big Island for many years, worked with John Lilly. In fact, she was engaged to marry him when he passed away. And she would go in every morning to where the tanks were. This is over in Maui. And the dolphins would lift up their heads and say, "Hello, Roberta, hello, Roberta, hello, Roberta." And she never taught them her name. They just learned it by listening. And they loved her so much because she's just the most loving person. And they wanted to surprise her by showing that they learned her name. So that was pretty cool. So the next thing that I want to share from that particular time frame was John Lilly was investigating different types of brain surgery for humans. And the Dolphins taught him several things that are still done today in brain surgery for humans. That, as far as we know, they wouldn't have learned any other way. But what he did learn also is that you cannot anesthetize a dolphin; they will die. So, and again, I forgot to say these are bottlenose dolphins. The bottlenose dolphins are the only ones that we know that allow themselves to be in captivity. The rest, if you capture a common dolphin or Pacific white-sided dolphin or Riso dolphin, they'll die. They'll die in 24 hours. They don't allow it, so to speak. But the bottlenose did, at least these did, and they taught him these incredible techniques for brain surgery. And of course, brain surgery is done with the person is still awake. They're not anesthetized, not in the same way that other surgeries are. Then he wanted to make a television show, and he hooked up with Rick O'Barry. And this is about the time the show Flipper came out. And the female dolphin, her name was Susie, that was the star of the television show. And I think she really enjoyed it. She really did. I think it went on for a few years. And then it came to a certain point where Susie said, okay, our contract's up. It's been 7 years. They lived in the water apartment. You know, we made the TV show. We lived in Maui with you. It's time for us to go back to the wild. And he said at the time, I will soon, very soon, you know, not honoring his agreement. And one morning he came out and he was there, and Rick O'Barry was there too. And Susie laid across his knees and she said very clearly, goodbye. And she sunk down and held, committed suicide. She didn't hold her breath. So that was it. She was ready to go home. Interesting stories. Anyway, talking about the brain, look at that. Look at the brainstem. This is where their abilities come from. We don't even really have one, barely have one at all. And this is how they can do their what we call holographic work, that they communicate in pictures. And they have the sonar, and the work they do, they call sonogenetics, when they're working with scanning us or scanning anything for that matter. Okay, so let's talk about our DNA. Seth explains that the avatar DNA blueprint that has been given to every human was upgraded through the seeding of humanity. And this was 4 cycles ago. It was about 104,000 years ago. And prior to that, there was another upgrade. That was about 200,000 years ago with 12 different races of beings that gave us their DNA. And there was really, if they hadn't done that, there was no real way for us to rise up out of being stripped down to 2 strands of DNA when the Earth was invaded. So we've had a lot of help. And it's important, I think, to, even if you don't know these beings that helped us, to acknowledge them, because they didn't have to do it. They absolutely did it because they love us. So the DNA equation involves 12 strands or layers of DNA that's entangled into the perfect human DNA divine life blueprint. Within each strand of the 12 strands of DNA are 12 substrands. So the 12 substrands in one DNA strand times 12 equals 144. So you literally have 144 strands of DNA that are encoded to contain all of the information, starting with you as a celestial being, coming down to you being an earth being. It's all in there. You carry it with you every day. It's interesting, isn't it? It's not like it's gone away. It's still there. It's just like books on a shelf. It's not being used. So there's much associated with the number 144 in ancient texts and teachings. I tell you that it is representative of the complete avatar DNA blueprint within each of you. Let us explore this. There's even, you may be aware of it, a religious teaching that says only 144,000 people will be saved or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, anytime somebody tells you there's a lack or a limitation, I would probably turn the other way. But the important thing is that the 144 is in there. It's an ancient number. And basically it's teaching people through numerology that we all have the avatar blueprint. We are all saved. Before we were even born, we were saved. It's what you do with it. It's what you do with your free will that will make or break what comes next for you as a human being. You have so many opportunities to grow and change and evolve and ultimately ascend. Or to go into negativity, that's your right too. And to explore the dark side and then pass over But know that all of the things that you do that are not loving, that are not positive, are kept on the grid. Okay? They don't cross over into the next realm. They don't go with you to heaven. This is why it's so important for us to clean the grid, because of all of the negative thought forms and disease and so forth that is stored there. So here's some information on the layers. Let me get my folder here so I can share a little bit more with you. So DNA group 1, the grounding layers of 1, 2, and 3, are the closest to your ability to understand DNA in the 3D experience. The subsequent layers become more multidimensional and are harder to comprehend outside of the quantum state. They are all about creating a foundation for the understanding, for the purpose, and the power of your DNA. DNA is the engine within you. It is reactive and it is creative. It pushes and it pulls. And like other multidimensional energies in the universe, it is aware of itself, completely sentient, and therefore assists you in finding the creator within you as a human. And within that, I'll just go ahead and share that we're going to be working with layer 1 today. We'll be doing what we call a dolphin calibration activation. Now, that doesn't mean that at the end of the session that layer 1 is completely activated. What it means is there'll definitely be a shift. How much of a shift is really up to you and your higher self, because nothing can be done without your higher self's permission. In other words, you might be experiencing a challenge in your body, and the dolphins come along and say, let me fix that. And your higher self or your soul says, no, you can't fix that, because they're still learning from that challenge. They put that in, and they're going through it for a reason. So we can't fix that, but we can fix this over here. So these are the kinds of discussions that are going on now about you in the dolphin community. But layer 1, being the biological layer, is the double helix that you see from the photographs of the microscope. There are 3 billion chemical parts working together to create a reality that simply cannot be put into a logical or a linear box. Layer 1 of your DNA is the closest one to you and the messenger for all of the other strands of DNA. It firmly resides in your 3D world and yet accesses the multidimensional layers. This is the one that science can see. It facilitates communication with the other strands of DNA and therefore orchestrates the synchronicity between them. Okay. DNA group 2 is layers 4 and 5 and 6, and they are called the human divine layers. They work with what we call your angelic name and all of the different names that we have given to God or to Source Light, which is part of your Akashic records. And with what we call the higher self or the soul, where we start to learn that we are not apart from that being that we call God. It is often referred to as your soul. And in human form, that part of your DNA offers you a pathway or a vehicle to find the divinity within yourself. Okay? DNA group 3 comprises the Lemurian layers, and the Lemurian layers tell the story of creation on Earth and are the library of humanity's journey on Earth. So a new breed of human was born and lived during the time of Lemuria. That was about 26,000 to 30,000 years ago. Now we know that, of course, there was many other races of different types of humans that lived before that. We even know the whales have been here 300 million years. We don't really, though, have any knowledge or memory of who those humans were or what they did. So when the dolphins start teaching and the whales start teaching, they want to start with Lemuria. And they want us to come forward from that place because it was the last time we lived in perfect harmony and peace. There was not even a word for I'm sorry. We lived in joy. We accessed our true gifts. Many people could fly. Other people could swim under the water, breathe under the water. We communicated with the dolphins and whales. We built rejuvenation temples. In a way, we were very innocent and very shamanic, but in other ways, we were very, very advanced and completely understood how to live in harmony. So when the dolphins teach, they come from that place and move forward from there. Okay. DNA group 4, the divine layers, which are 10, 11, and 12. And they are called the divine layers because they are your interdimensional attributes that are linked to the energy of God, or that which you call source. They are not processes or memories, but are necessary as the divinity that allows the other layers to exist. It's the part of you that is divine in 3 layers. Okay, so some basic information that will be helpful. Here are the names of the layers. I don't know if any of this is really important to you. It's not necessary that you understand it to receive the healing. I should say that. But people are curious, and we just have, volumes of information that they have shared with us. And we also work in harmony with the being we call as Cryon. Myself, as Lori, was there when Cryon started to channel on the 12 layers of DNA. I think before the book started to be written, though, the Dolphins had told me there were 12 layers of DNA. And I didn't even write it down. I had no connection to how that would be a part of my life. I was like, okay, that's nice. I didn't really care, It only really, it's in the last 6 years that this information has come to a place, because we formed the school of the Dolphin and Well Energy Light Medicine, and we started working with healing specifically for humans, that the Dolphins have shared this with us. Okay. Before that, I guess it just wasn't applicable. So here's some fun little codes, the numerology of the DNA. Group 1, which is 1, 2, and 3, adds up to 6. Group 2, which is 4, 5, and 6, adds up to 15, which is 5 plus 1 equals 6. Group 3, which is 7, 8, 9, adds up to 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. So your DNA represents the 666. The secret of the 666 is that you are God. And again, we're going to talk about what? Movies, television, books, organizations that would tell you that 666 is the dark number, it's the evil number. And of course, these would be organizations that would not want you to know that you are God. They would not want you to know about the empowerment that lives within the DNA in your body. So there's the truth. Should feel really good. Get rid of that myth. Group 4, which is 10, 11, and 12 equals 33. And we don't, when there's a master number, 11, 22, 33, 44, we don't break it down. We don't divide it. The master number 33 means compassion. It's also a whale code. It means God Almighty. On a very interesting note, Master Put has been born on March 3rd. Yesterday was her 13th birthday. But in her other incarnation, she was also born on March 3rd, 33. And my birthday adds up to a 33. So we're the 33 gals. So I love this picture. And this is where the Dolphins have said, we actually open the seals of encodement to your DNA so that it can be accessed, which is a part of your divine blueprint. And one of the ways they show this to me is that the sheaths of energy that go around each strand of DNA has like a color coding to it. It's like an insulation around it. And there's a lot more on that. You can certainly investigate and see, if you're interested scientifically, about the genealogy of that. But the seals have to be opened, and a certain level of consciousness has to exist within you for them to open that seal. They're guided by that. So if you want to know more about your DNA, sometimes they'll talk to you about the seals that you put in there. And when the seal breaks open, that's a very good thing. It's very good. So a quick story about that is I was living in Catalina one summer, about 7 years ago. And I was going back and forth, but basically I was doing boat trips for tourists over there on Catalina with Puda in the boat, because Puda's a water cat. And we would take them out to see the dolphins and give little dolphin messages to the clients. So that's something I still do here in Dana Point, of course, when there's not a pandemic going on. I love to give people dolphin messages. But anyway, it's one of the things one of my producers wanted me to do. And one day, the newspaper lady wanted to write a story about me. So she came out on the boat and was going to watch me, talk to the dolphins. And all day long, we searched and searched and searched till I was in tears. No dolphins. I mean, they went everywhere but to me. That's not normal. They were usually there every day. And then so the captain said, well, since we can't find dolphins, let's go down to the end of the island and we'll see the sea lions. And I was like, I don't want to see the sea lions. I didn't say that out loud, but when we got there, all the sea lions jumped off the rocks, which I guess they don't normally do, and came to our boat. They tried to climb in, and we were petting the sea lions. There were like thousands of them around our boat. Amazing. All the sea lions. And I was still going, where are the dolphins? Where are the dolphins? Anyway, we came home. I went in the shower. I was talking, I don't know about you, but I talked to Spirit a lot in the shower. Came out, and Puda said to me, why are you upset? And I said, you know why I'm upset. I wanted to talk about the dolphins. And she said, you can talk about the dolphins every day. Today was a miracle. She said, the seals came to you. She said, who do you think the seals are anyway? And I said, I don't know. They're cute little animals. She said, they even tried to make it really easy for humanity. The name seal, what does it mean to you? And I don't know, like a Tupperware thing with where you push the lid down and it seals. She said, no. She said, think of the book in the Bible where they talk about breaking the seals for consciousness. She said, the seals in the ocean are the keepers of the seals for humanity. And they basically broke open the seventh seal in your DNA today. And I don't know if that make any sense to you, but I'm going to explain it to you later. So this was a big day for you. And you're just whining. It's sad because, it's a huge day to receive that much attention from the seals. It's an acknowledgement of your consciousness, of the encodement in your own body. And then she said, I want you to think back to the first day when you came to Catalina and you were trying to decide whether you even wanted to form this little business and get an apartment. Who came to you that day? And she was right. That day we got off the boat and I was with a friend and we went to see basically all the boat captains to see if we could find someone who would work with us, right, before we're going to move over there. And so it's the end of the day and we're tired. We talked to all the boat captains in the hotels and stuff, and we're just sitting on the beach. And as soon as we sat down, we heard this, and the people that were on the beach said, see that seal out there? That seal started barking like that when you came. You guys came. And now it's coming in. It looks like it's going to come in out of the water. And it's been out there all day, which is, we thought something was wrong with it. But look at it. It's coming. It's swimming in. And, I'm sitting there on the beach. I'm going, that's nice. And my friend Shelly, she says, get up. Go over there and talk to the seal. And I was tired. I said, oh, okay. So I went over and he came up and he bumped my hand, which, wild seals don't do that. He bumped my hand and he kind of put my hand on top of his head. And he went, and then he swam away. And the people that were on the beach said, he was waiting for you because he's been out there all day. And as soon as you came, he came to you. He has a message for you. What's the message? And I went, I don't know. I think he likes me. Still didn't really put the message together. But anyway, we took some pictures of him. Later on, we realized he was welcoming me and we put his picture on our, cards. Or anyway, there's a lot more to the seals than we realized too. We can't talk about that today, but I thought I'd share that story with you. So here's a picture from John Luc Mazzali. He lives on the Big Island of Hawaii. He's a visionary artist. And here he's drawing the picture of the soul choosing to incarnate as a dolphin. And then, of course, the dolphin to have babies and come to Earth. Isn't that beautiful? So the soul can choose many different bodies to incarnate into. Okay, so with your room muted, I'm going to ask you to read out loud in your house this affirmation to prepare you for the healing. Okay, I'm going to read it out loud too. You can read with me. I ask that I now be taken into alignment of my highest light. As I merge with my I am presence, I recognize myself as divine empowerment, love, and wisdom. I remove all veils of illusion and step now into my personal power through my I am presence, soul, and star families of light. I now ask for my avatar blueprint in this human embodiment. I ask for and welcome a new vibration and level of Christ consciousness in my human body. I ask Creator, the great whales and dolphin emissaries of light, for divine dispensation here and now today. So what that means is you're asking for energy to be taken out of your bank account, your energetic bank account, all sort of the good karma that you've, put in the bank, so to speak, and applied to the here and now to change your vibration. It's like you're willing to pay for it with your own karma. And you don't have to agree to that. If that doesn't feel right, you don't have to say that, but others will. I now give permission and ask for the perfect encodement and DNA download that is perfect for me on this day, March 4th, at this time. I ask that I receive this activation and energy in every fiber of my multidimensional self for my highest and best good. Activate now key codes within me so that I may experience my highest potential as my higher light and my I am presence. Thank you, Dolphins. So say out loud, this is another name for layer 1. It's called the Tree of Life. Activate now, layer 1, as the Tree of Life within me. And one of the Cryon team members does a lot of art, and he did this art and also wrote the Hebrew words on the picture. His name is Elon Cohen. Okay. Let's take a moment and really integrate that. The Tree of Life within you. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to ask you now. We have one more beautiful picture of the dolphins surrounding you with the toroidal field, offering you this DNA calibration. Take a moment now, if you would get a bottle or a glass of water, and we're going to do a water blessing, and then we're going to have you lie down and put on your blindfold. Okay? So, any kind of water. Hold that bottle or that glass to your heart. We say, water, we love you. Water, we bless you. Water, we are so grateful for you. Please forgive us for harming you or polluting you in any way. And let's say the Ho'opono prayer now to the water in our bodies and to this glass 3 times. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Water, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. Water, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. So through the power of our divine essence, we raise the vibration of this water and the water in our bodies to the highest possible vibration right now. So go ahead and drink some of your blessed water now. And remembering what you learned last week, if you don't remember, it's when you bless the water and then you drink the water, the blood crystals actually begin to change. Dr. Emoto proved this through his photographic work that he did with water crystals, proving that water is sentient and alive. So since we've done these powerful affirmations and hopefully you're in a very high vibration, feel the blood chemistry changing and your body just blooming with star tetrahedron molecules, getting ready for this dolphin tune-up. Okay. So there are 12 ascended dolphins that we work with in the council that, again, came to me after I started the Whale and Dolphin Energy Medicine School. I had already learned quite a bit about the white whales, quite a bit about the earth whales, and I'd received 12 templates for healing from them. Then the dolphins came in and said, we want you to create another level in the school just for dolphins and DNA. And they told me their names. So we're going to call them in now, and they are multidimensional, so they'll be able to be with everyone at the same time. As we call them in, there are 12 of them. I want you to see them descending from above with the tail down, head up, in a circle around you. The circle starts clockwise, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, okay? And if you can just look into their eyes as they come in and form that beautiful circle around you. Please welcome Simeon, Hatha, Sigla, Exeter, Freya, JL, Persuela, Zaregla, Mercola, Exava, Kaval, and Elamir. Take a moment to feel their vibration. Now take a moment to state your intentions for this session, for this healing, knowing that they can assist you with all kinds of things, but the main focus will be your body. Go ahead and speak to them out loud or telepathically. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. I'm going to play some dolphin sounds so you can have a moment with them before we start the healing. All right. As you conclude your intentions and your communication with the dolphins, think of the things in your life now that you desire to change and hold them in the highest vibration of love, not in negativity. Ask if it's appropriate to work with these things that are challenging you. Be honest with what you desire. Okay. I'm sure that the dolphins will tell you it's not as hard as you may think it is to make these changes in your life that start with your DNA. Okay, so I'm going to ask everybody now, let's see, stop sharing for a minute, we'll come back, to get ready to lie down. Actually, I'm sorry, oh, my mistake. I'm getting tapped on the shoulder. The dolphins work on you with your spine straight. We don't lie down. With the whales, we do lie down. Keep it all straight. So if you could sit in a chair that's comfortable, your spine straight, but we do want the blindfold or the scarf around your eyes. We want your palms facing upward, and if you have crystals that you can place in your palms, that would be ideal. Also, we usually put a crystal between your feet It's not required. But we work with, most of you know, the Andara crystals to, again, accelerate the frequencies. So moving all of your energy into your heart. Try not to be in the analytical process as we do this. Just be in the heart, innocent like a child. And the meditation is almost a half hour, so you can really let yourself relax and just receive the love and joy that's yours to claim, okay? When we come back, we'll share, we'll see if anyone has questions and how you're feeling, but this is for you now.
Have you ever asked yourself why humanity has such an affinity for the dolphins and the whales? They open the hearts of everyone who connects with them. When you look at a picture of a dolphin, do you find yourself smiling? Did you know that over 80 countries all over the world have created laws to protect the cetaceans? Even countries that have no physical oceans on their borders have joined the global population, offering protection to our friends in the sea. The collective consciousness of humanity wants to protect the whales and dolphins and keep them safe. The truth is, the human cellular structure and your DNA knows that the whales and dolphins represent a significant and a special part of the Earth. The whales and dolphins are living portions of the Earth's grid systems. They are actual living embodiments of the library containing the history of Earth's evolution. The actual Akashic record systems are stored within the water molecules of the ocean, actually. The dolphins and the whales can easily access your personal soul's information or Akashic records, as they are the living molecular librarians for Earth. Thousands of people have reported that they have had life-changing experiences after a whale and a dolphin boat trip, or a swim with dolphins. The reason we are so changed by their energy is that our cellular information is aligned and upgraded in their presence. Our actual DNA is recalibrated, and we have a consciousness shift in their presence. Human DNA is also a part of the grid system for Gaia. The evolution of the human species is reflected in your DNA. The whales and dolphins access this information as stewards for Gaia and for Earth. They sing to coordinate with the crystalline grid system, and they can actually change your vibration and essence when you connect. So there is an intuitive part of every human that knows the importance of the cetaceans on our planet. That part of you knows that the whales cannot be eliminated without changing the life force balance of the Earth, and therefore you. The dolphins have shared with me that they are the designated keepers of the human DNA template system. They receive infusions of DNA activations through the Earth's ocean systems from Creator. It is their given task to process this information internally and calibrate the actual DNA that is perfect and right for each person. They also hold the energy of love and joy for actual locations on the planet that are experiencing war and chaos. They work to create frequencies that are infused into these areas on the planet with templates of peace, harmony, and healing. The Dolphin Matrix supports DNA reencodements for people and places throughout the energy code systems they use. The Dolphin Family of Light has created a template for the human DNA and uses it to monitor the overall template for the pure holographic possibility equation for humanity and for Earth. Open now to connect directly with the planetary dolphin family. As you give your permission, you can receive these attunements directly from the dolphin group consciousness right here, right now.
The dolphins are the masters of DNA recalibration and are able to shift old energies very quickly with their healing frequencies. They work in a frequency of joy and playfulness that is perfectly suited for the energy of ascension and the new earth. Beloved humans, please listen to your hearts as the energies continue to accelerate. Call upon the dolphin energies as they are the chosen emissaries of light. Their communications will be of valuable assistance in helping you to align with the crystalline grid system, your personal DNA upgrades, and the dolphin matrix systems that are assisting in creating the center for the new earth. Also know that the dolphin matrix of energy is assisting with the cleansing and the balancing of Earth's ocean systems. Currently, many scientific experts are saying that DNA plays a powerful role in newly discovered communications between dolphins and humans. One ongoing study at the Sirius Institute in Hawaii has revealed that dolphins and whales receive and transmit sound signals capable of affecting the genetic double helix. Using natural biotechnology, dolphins can heal humans sonogenetically. During our past 17 years of multidisciplinary study, it has now been proven that the expression of DNA, traditionally considered the blueprint of life, can be changed by the sound and electromagnetic fields generated by dolphins. New research shows that our DNA is activated by waves and particles of energized sound and light that literally switch genes on or off. Likewise, genetic inheritance is energetically transmitted bioacoustically and electromagnetically through special water molecules that form the electrogenetic matrix of your DNA. These hydroelectric structures are shaped like pyramids, hexagons, and pentagons, and they direct the healing processes. This amazing phenomenon explains how remarkable healings have been reported by people all over the world, in boats near dolphins, by swimmers, and even by people who sit as you are now and summon the consciousness of the ascended etheric dolphins. The cetaceans have had complex language for millions of years, and they have the largest brains on the planet. Visitations by dolphins and whales have demonstrated a history of friendship and cooperation and even partnership with humans. The dolphins and whales have shown us that they are the ancient and wise, supersentient beings on this planet. They are living examples for we humans, showing us how to live in peace and harmony with our planet. We encourage you to connect with the dolphins and the whales each and every day, energetically, telepathically, and in the physical oceans whenever you can. They are the living, ultimate expression of how we humans can begin to live in our hearts again, within the pod mind. The pod mind is demonstrated by living for the good of the many, not the one. So today, as you tap into this amazing phenomenon and the supersentience of the dolphins, we suggest that you open your heart to a personal alignment. Find that inner intuitive part of you that knows these truths as you make a personal connection to the dolphin consciousness right now. You are connected to them, and they to you, as we are all connected to Gaia herself. Our energies and even our quantum DNA is all intertwined from the moment of creation and the emergence into physical form.
So welcome everyone to the Dolphin community. The Dolphin community offers you this energy that is like a radio receiver for sounds. The dolphins and whales are accessing your DNA now through your intention. Cryon has shared that there will come a day when the humans will sing and intuitively project the correct sounds to the cetaceans of the earth. The dolphins and whales will see it as structured language that they have been expecting. They will respond back to us with great alignments, and healing and breakthroughs will occur for the humans connecting to the dolphins. This information is intuitive, and we are approaching the time when the quantum energy will come forward through our quantum intellect. We have already discovered that there are only 2 types of DNA on the planet that is structured for quantum intellect, and those beings are the human and the cetacean. We bring you a message now from your Ascended Dolphin Council, sealing in the healing for you with this new and higher vibration. We align with the calibration of your DNA. The dolphins and whales have shared that there are 12 layers to the human DNA template. Cryon has confirmed this and named the layers of the DNA. Right now here, we begin to focus on layer 1 of your DNA. It is known as the biological layer. So if you would silently affirm now with the dolphins, activate now layer 1 as the tree of life within me. Breathe deeply as you are now experiencing the dolphin frequency, allowing them to move energy through your body and upgrade your DNA. Breathing deeply, moving deeper into your heart, allowing yourself now to attune to the frequencies of going within, knowing that the destiny codes that you are seeking are in your DNA and can always be further activated on each journey or process of this type. All is designed to restore you to your divine patterns of perfection, fired in divine light and orchestrated by your soul and put into place before you were even born. Today, we applaud you for asking for greater peace as you have chosen to align your innate divinity. You now stand in a higher vibration with greater authority than ever before as you have taken one step closer to becoming your authentic self. May you continue to access higher consciousness from the cetacean beings who freely share it when asked. May you continue to access your highest destiny as you allow yourself to fully blossom into the glorious being that you truly are. The dolphins remind you that you are an eternal, immortal, spiritual being having a human experience. You have a divine destiny, and you are so dearly loved. Feel the tree of life within you now, as it is a symbol of your immortality. It represents the healing of your soul, as we are all interconnected. We are all aspects of the one Source. Source lives in all aspects of life within the symbol of the tree of life. It encompasses all realms of existence and binds them together. It is eternal in nature, having no beginning and no end. Affirm silently, I am an immortal, eternal being of light. The tree of life exists within me. The tree of life is a symbol of my soul and how I am interconnected to all life everywhere. We bring you now a final message from your Ascended Dolphin Council, sealing in your healing with this new and higher vibration. The destiny codes of your DNA can be further activated on each journey, such as what you have just experienced. All is designed to restore you to divine patterns of perfection.
remember, fired in the etheric, orchestrated by your soul. We applaud you for asking for greater peace, as you have chosen to attain an alignment with your own innate divinity. You now stand in and hold a higher vibration with great authority. You are becoming your authentic self. May you continue to access higher consciousness from the dolphin beings who freely share it when asked. May you continue to access your highest destiny as you allow yourself to fully blossom into this glorious being that you are. You are an eternal, immortal spiritual being with a very important divine destiny. We are the Dolphins, and we love you so. Thank you, beloved ones. I am Lori Rion, voice for the group consciousness of the great dolphins and whales.
Okay, time to come back. Pose. See how you're feeling. Anybody want to share on your experience? Anybody have a question? Hopefully you feel much different. After I work with the dolphins, I get all tingly.
That didn't seem like half an hour.
It didn't?
No. It seemed about 10 minutes or so.
Well, you can look at the clock and see that I'm right.
I know, but this is Diane.
Hi, Diane.
Thanks. That was great. I love that. Just felt amazing.
And know that it's available. You know, I mean, when you put yourself into that vibration, you're really surrendering to the shift, you know. Diane, other Diane says, I cried and smiled and cried and felt joy. Yay. Good. I can think of myself getting off the boat in Hawaii, also in Bimini, and just, you know, when I got back on, I was just tears coming in my mask from the joy, you know, because just laughter and smiling, and I'm kind of addicted to being with them in the physical, even though, well, I'm addicted to this too. It's just incredible. They're both incredible.
I'll share.
Okay, thanks.
When it first started, I felt like they came in through my crown, through the top of my head. And then I got really giggly. And then after a minute or two, my whole body got really hot. And it was really amazing. And then further on, like my whole body started to shake, like I had a big release. And I have started working with my dolphins and doing recalibration, but I was missing a step. I didn't activate my DNA. And then I was still having some physical challenges, but I think I watched the Bruce Lipton thing, and I believe that, yeah, maybe it was my environment. I was really unhappy where I was living in California. So I moved here to Florida. I changed my environment, and I'm so much happier. And I get to be with the dolphins physically here. And I went on a boat tour this summer, and yeah, they came right up to me to the boat, and they love light language. Even if I just walk here out, I live 3 miles from the beach. If I walk out here to the pier and I start doing light language, I mean, they just come, they just show up. So it's amazing being with them physically. I haven't got to swim with them yet, but hopefully soon. But this experience was amazing. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. Thank the dolphins. Yeah. I can think of so many boat trips where we're out, over the years, and we got a little speaker, and we put on upbeat music like dance and happy, and people are dancing on the back of the boat, and they just come roaring up, and they're like splashing and jumping, and they're like partying with us. They love the music. Also the kids, over the years, you guys can check it out. I have a nonprofit organization called Dolphins Love Kids. It's been a little bit inactive this year, but it was formed with the intention of the dolphins telling me, bring us the kids, bring us the kids, bring us the kids. And so it started with just me and a couple of friends, and maybe like 5 friends and their kids and grandkids. And our intention was to form an organization where we would collect money that would be used to purchase seats for kids that wouldn't have that opportunity otherwise. And it's just gone so well. In fact, we finally saved enough money last February when we were on the Big Island in Hawaii to take a whole boatload of kids, local Hawaiian kids out. You'd think they could swim with the dolphins all the time, but they don't. It's sort of like saying here in San Diego, everybody goes to the beach every day. They don't. I mean, a whole bunch of friends that haven't been to the beach in years, and they live here. So I don't know how to explain that to you, but I mean, it's, when was the last time you did the touristy stuff, or, in your own town, I guess. We all can certainly be much kinder to ourselves and do that. But anyway, we have so much fun, and the memories and the video of those kids getting off the boat, and the dolphins they're practically jumping over their head. They're all around them, and God bless them. They spent the whole afternoon with us. Sometimes they'll come and hang out for a while, and then they take off, go do something else. They stayed. It's just so much fun with the kids. And then one of our board members, her granddaughter's been going out with us since she was, I think, 5, and she's got to be like 12 now. So that's how many years we've been doing this. And she, for years, would go out and play her violin out on the front of the boat. And the dolphins would come, and her face was so sweet. She goes, "Millions of dolphins are coming." Millions and millions. Well, it looks like millions. Yeah. And here, before we close, I'm going to show you a recent dolphin stampede. That's pretty common here. And I know I've told you before, but I'll tell you again, one of the reasons I live here is because we have more dolphins than anywhere else in the world. We literally have 500,000 dolphins here. That's the best count of just the common dolphins. And that's a stupid name for a beautiful animal, but large pods of long beak, short beak. We have 2 pods of bottlenose. We have Pacific white-sided. We have Riso, and amazing. They're just so amazing. But the common dolphins are in the large numbers. So like a small pod of common dolphins would be about 200. That's a pretty good day too, just to see 200 dolphins. We'll hang out with your boat and play. So we're really, really blessed to be in dolphin land, Yeah. They're doing so many things, though, for the planet. These are the dolphins that tell me they work on the grids. Sometimes they show me crop circles under the water, and they're making those crop circles with color and light and sound, and communicating with, of course, the star families and so forth. Stuff that we don't really understand, So, anybody want to share? I hope you liked it.
Lori?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Sue. I just had a quick question. I could really feel such a huge shift when they started. I'm sure there's a word for it, but when they start ticking, it's
Clicking.
It's not this clicking. Yes, it's not the squealing, but there was one area where they were just doing a lot of clicking, and it was like, wow. I felt that through the top of my head.
Yeah.
So
that's part of the way they shift us. I don't exactly understand it, but it's like the start and stop of electrical energy.
Yeah, there was something powerful. So
Yeah.
that just really took me away. It was
Part of their
so
language too.
fun.
You know? Yeah. I just read an article this morning on sperm whales, and sperm whales are toothed whales. They're the largest toothed whales, and they dive deeper than any other whale, hold their breath longer. And basically the article was on their clicks, because there were some free divers that were diving with them, which is pretty rare because they go very deep and they stay a long time. I think a couple hours they can hold their breath. Anyway, they were clicking, and they were noticing how the free divers came up, parts of their body were like paralyzed. Not permanently, but the guy put out his hand, like, I forgot my camera's not working, but like just push your hand out in front of you, like a stop sign, to the whale that was coming towards him. And the sperm whale clicked, click, 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 and then went under him. And when he came up, he couldn't move his arm for like 4 hours. So that's just an idea of the power of this click thing that the cetaceans have. I mean, there's great power in it. And this is, of course, in this case, focused on us and using that energy, electromagnetic energy, to shift our bodies. So I look forward to one day understanding it better. But, the point is it works.
Yes, it does. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate
You're welcome. Yeah,
Thanks.
happy to have you share. Anybody
Thank
else?
you.
Got a whole bunch of you over here. How was your tune-up?
I'll share. This is Jennifer. I'm Ginnis. My camera isn't working either. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Well, a couple of things. It's so interesting that you brought up the sperm whales, because I think I must have read something very similar, but let me just talk about the dolphin experience for a second. I had a lot of similar experiences to what other people talked about. I felt like I went in through my heart, like I have a certain image of the inside of my heart chakra, and that's where I went. And then there were dolphins there, and they took me out into the ocean. And at one point there was such a sense of just real peace, just peace. It was, I can't even describe it. That's the best word. But I mean, like, completely, just complete peace.
I get it.
At the end, as I came back in through my heart chakra, suddenly there were all these dolphin faces up close in my face, smiling at me. And it was just really, I smiled a lot and laughed, and it was really lovely. So I just wanted to, I read something similar to this week, Lori, about the sperm whales. In fact, there was a TEDx talk by some guy named Nestor. I think it'll come up if you Google sperm whales, free dives. And he had some really interesting things to say about the clicking and they're they're taping it and they're recording it and they're breaking it down. Yeah, you read that. It was fascinating. And the other thing, so you guys should check it out. The other thing is, I posted into the chat, I saw this video the other day of people swimming with humpbacks, and I saw their blowholes are heart-shaped. And when they're under the water, it looked like this black sort of bushy heart on the forehead of the whale. It was, I put the link in the information on the chat room, in the chat box, if anyone wants to look at it. But it was really
I've heard that before. The humpback whales are baleen whales. We've talked about that. They're not toothed whales.
Right.
They're here for humanity. And they have the reason you can tell baleen from toothed is they have a double blowhole. Right. And the double blowhole is linked at the bottom, so it does kind of look like a heart. Yeah.
Wow.
But the dolphins are toothed whales. The sperm whales are toothed whales. They just have one big blowhole. Just so you know, a little bit more physiology. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. It was wonderful.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad.
Thank the dolphins and Master Buddha. And happy birthday, Master
Buddha. Yeah. Well, we're having a big party Saturday. So she's pretty excited about that. We're going to have raw tuna. That's a big day in the neighborhood here. For her birthday. Yeah.
That'd be so cute.
Yeah, she's a celebrated cat, I'll tell you that. She likes parties. She's had her birthday in Hawaii 9 times, I think. Because normally this time of year we're in Hawaii. And this year, we didn't go because of the travel restrictions. So we're at home with the group of friends that live here, and they're all excited to come and celebrate her birthday because they don't get to do that when we're in Hawaii. So that's fun. Yeah, exciting times. Okay, anybody else? I'm going to show you a little video of what's going on here where I live. It'll be a fun way to close tonight. I say a picture's worth 1,000 words. I agree with that. Come on.
Another little baby over here. Coming up. There's a protein.
So that was kind of fun. I'm going to bring on a song now, which is the same prayer we used earlier to open the sacred space. It was given to me by a Native American woman. She's singing it. She has a beautiful voice. And it's called Buddha's Sacred Prayer. I think you'll like it. And that's how we're going to close the space. I just have to find it here. There we go. So go into your heart as we use this vibrational song. Close our beautiful class today. First part is in Kiro Apache. Second part's in English. So it's about coming face to face with your higher being, your higher self there at the end of that song. About really not being afraid of what the creator gods that we really are, claiming our power and our connection to these beautiful souls we call the dolphins and whales. So thank you tonight for your attention and for really allowing the dolphins to come into your heart and to work with you. And I hope that you'll continue to do so. As far as the replay, we'll try to have it up sometime late tomorrow or Saturday onto the replay page, okay? It'll just be, one under the other, so you don't need to get a different page every week. So we give thanks, and we give you all a big hug, and until next week, And I'll have my camera fixed by then.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, Lori. Love you.
Thank you, everyone.
Love you too.
Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.
Lori. Happy birthday, Buddha.
Happy
Happy birthday.
birthday.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.